Good afternoon, morning, whatever time. Welcome to another episode of BD Radio. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you.
And Snuffles Harry McGee in the back. Today's episode is... the sponsors. First, we must get to the sponsors. This episode is proudly brought to you by BD's nutritional program, where we teach you everything you need to know to not only gain, but maintain. That just came to me. Brilliant. Anyways, if you guys need any help with nutrition, you know where we are. Today's episode, we are in fact talking about nutrition, and it's a topic pretty close to our hearts. It's something that is 100% missing in our industry, is the education around keeping the results.
Maintaining.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a school of thought, and I'm not sure I subscribe to it completely, but I don't completely disagree with it. It's that, like, the Western culture doesn't have a weight loss problem. They've got a weight maintenance problem. And I think most people, like, if you ask them how to lose weight, they would be able to answer it in a way that you'd say, yeah, that's, those are the principles. But if you ask them how to maintain the weight, they probably have no idea.
Yeah.
So,
well, how many people come to us for our help, like engage in our services, and I'm talking nutrition services for weight loss, and say to us, I know what I have to do. Like, how many people have come to you and said that?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
everyone.
I know what I have to do,
Everyone.
I just can't do it.
Yeah, everyone. But to varying degrees of if they're right or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, the point is, everyone sort of knows what to do to get there. They may need some help and some refining, obviously. But this podcast is about when you reach your end point. When you reach that point where you've either ticked the box of, I'm happy with my results, or this and that. Now I need to shift over into maintenance, because there's a couple of things that happen that when I've explained this to people, they've had zero idea, which is good because now they know.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, I've lost 5 kilos.
Yeah.
Now I just want to maintain
gain it back.
Yeah, my 70 kilos and never gain it back.
Yeah, because for every person who has said that they know what they have to do, that very same person has done it before in the past and is now heavier than they were when they started.
Yeah, we do see that a lot.
Yeah, so they've gained it back and then some. So actually, let's start first. Firstly, and we tacked this onto our run sheet. When I say run sheet, I mean messenger conversation of what we want to make sure we include. But on our run sheet, we wrote that we briefly wanted to discuss the effects of constantly dieting. So everyone knows that one person who, is always trying to lose weight, always trying this, always trying that. And not only the psychological effects, because it can be quite just
damaging.
Oh yeah, you can feel just like flatter and flatter.
Yeah.
But also the physiological effects. Dan, do you want to start with a couple?
Yeah, people don't realise that it does have an impact on what you can do moving forward. So, for example, me, I've never dieted in my life. I've never had a weight issue.
Blessed.
I've always really...
This is probably a better question for me.
No, but I've always really enjoyed good food. Like, I remember growing up, like, good food, home-cooked food, like, it was a big part of what we did. It was something that I really enjoyed. And it's still something I really enjoy doing, like, with my family. It's something, like, even cooking a good meal for the kids, like, makes me feel really good. So I'm someone that's never dieted compared to... Let's just compare each other.
Yeah.
Compared to Ben, let's say, that has gone from one extreme to the other, and done a few different things in his very short lifespan to try and lose weight. So obviously the older you get and the more dieting you do, the greater the impact. So Ben's quite young. It wouldn't be as great as someone if for example, we're looking at a 55 or 60-year-old client who had been dieting their entire life.
Yeah. So I guess when we say the dieting, like, have you been on a diet? This is more talking like, have you actually spent long amounts of time in a calorie deficit? So half the time I thought I was on a diet, I wasn't. I wasn't actually in a deficit. So that's, this is for the people, I guess, what we would term crash, like where it's just 10-day detox and all you eat is like spinach and
anything so anything that's
fasting,
extremely
Aggressive.
restrictive and aggressive in terms of calories. So when you're doing detoxes or really
like
low calorie,
that sort of stuff.
Yeah, low calorie diets.
Yeah, I think for most people listening to this, it'd be based around fasting or 5 and 2 or anything where they've been uber restrictive at a certain period of time.
Yeah, so when you do that to your body multiple times, so if you've done that over and over and over again, so you've lost the weight and then you've
gained it back.
Gained weight, then you've done something else, you've lost the weight.
A yo-yo diet.
Yeah, then you've gained the weight. So what happens is your body actually becomes less responsive next time you go to do that.
Yep. And the way that happens is, so let's contrast you. So you've never really been overly mindful of your quantities in regards to weight loss. You've always eaten as much as you wanted, until you're full.
Yep.
So,
and that's a lot sometimes.
It's a lot sometimes. But as a result, you're one of those people where people will just say, oh, she just has a blessed metabolism. She's so lucky. And it's like, yes, whilst that may be true, it's like, it's not completely true. It's a little bit true. She's only lucky because she hasn't had a history of basically down regulating her metabolism and constantly crashing it over and over again. So as a result, your resting metabolism is on the higher end.
Yeah, it would be.
Whereas compared to, someone at the same age who's at the other end of the scope, who's been on a diet every day since they were 16, their resting metabolism as a result has been down regulated to the point where it could be hundreds below where yours is for the same height, roughly the same weight. So the key here is that your metabolism is adaptive.
Yep.
So when you hear that person who goes, I just have to look at a cupcake and I gain weight. That's because they've been so restrictive for so long that their resting metabolism is so low that it doesn't take that much food to exceed that point and then to start gaining weight. Whereas everyone also knows that person who, they can just eat whatever they want, and this is horrible radio. I'm doing quotation marks with my hands, but they can eat whatever they want and not gain any weight. So it can be quite frustrating for someone who then comes to us trying to lose weight. And we've had this happen a couple of times to then say that you're gaining weight on this amount of food. And like what we need to do is actually build you back up to then drop your food down again. And then you will start to lose weight on the same amount of food that you were actually maintaining weight. So it can become a little bit of a game of maths, really. Yeah.
It's very hard. Like if someone comes to you with a weight loss goal and you're telling them, I need you to eat more.
Eat more food. They'll be like, what sort of program is this?
It can be difficult to explain and hard for the individual to accept. But the reality is, and just like all things that we say all the time, like every single client is different.
Oh, 100%.
As well. So we always address each client based exactly on the information they give us.
Yeah.
There is no kind of blueprint. So like meal plan, let's say. I always like to think of it like that way. When you take into account all the considerations, there's a lot to look at based on the individual.
This is why that when you go on like Jenny Craig or Light and Easy, like when they say, would you like the 1800 calorie option or the 1200 calorie option? Like that is the stupidest thing of all time. Sorry, Jenny Craig, if you're listening.
Well, it's a generic.
Yeah, but people aren't generic.
No, they clearly are not.
No one is the same.
No.
Like there is nothing more individual to a person than what they need to be putting in their mouth to be at their optimal health.
Yeah.
Because it's not just physical health, it's mental health as well.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The two are related. And food isn't as simple as calories in, calories out. It's a routine, it's a ritual. Topic for another day.
We have these
Topic for another
all
day.
The time. Yeah.
But yeah, it's ridiculous. Like you would be so much better served by taking the time to learn what you need to then just be able to apply it for the rest of your life. Low stress, easy.
Yep.
Anyway.
I love it. I really like that you actually addressed the mental. Well, you just briefly,
just
briefly mentioned like a lot
Easter,
of
perfect example.
Yeah.
Yeah, like chocolate at Easter is like, it's a ritual. It's like
Yeah.
a time of, we're not overly religious, so it's not really a time of celebration for us. But like it's a time of, for us, it's about
family,
hunting with the kids, being with family, enjoying a bit of time together. That's a ritual thing. Like, that's a time of year that we really enjoy. So to then go into that weekend loaded with stress about how am I going to handle this chocolate, that's not good nutrition. No. That's something that you need to work through, understand that, I guess, the effect of what you're, about to partake in. That, yes, the scales may go up because of this and this, more carbs, more water, doesn't necessarily mean you've gained any fat, all this stuff, like all this education that comes around what happens when you eat certain things is much more valuable to understand rather than just chocolate's unhealthy.
Yeah.
But I'm getting sidetracked. So let's come back to maintaining results.
I think we should do one on mental health and food though, because that is a good one.
Yeah. Yes.
But that is for another podcast.
I'll stop crapping on about it. Yeah. All right. So basically what then happens? So let's say that you've done 12 weeks of a diet. Our nutrition program goes for 12 weeks. So that's perfect. Yep. 12 weeks of a diet and you've lost 7 kgs.
Yep.
And we get to the end and I said, like, outstanding job, blah, 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 all this great stuff.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Well done.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect example. And it's like, okay, her goal was not to lose 7 kgs. The goal is to lose 7 kgs and then keep it off. Yep. Because anyone can follow a meal plan and just, count their calories or do whatever to lose weight. That's not the hard part. The hard part is changing your identity, your beliefs, and your behaviors. Day-to-day actions, systems, behaviors, routines, all this stuff to then be in line with a person who is 7 kgs lighter and all this stuff. And that's the most important part.
I was about to say, this can be applied to life in general. I say it to people from a training perspective, I say it to people from a nutrition perspective, and often when I have private conversations with people, when it comes to personal stuff and certain things they're struggling with in general day-to-day life, what you surround yourself with and what you do day to day should support your overall goal.
Yep.
And I'm not saying it has to be a specific goal, but I'm saying if you're someone that enjoys health, fitness, and family, you're not going to hang out with people that party every weekend from Friday to Sunday.
Aren't you?
No. And hang around people that
up all night,
stay up till 2 a.m. and can't get out of bed till midday. That's just not, that doesn't support what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it would be very hard to kind of catch up with those people given that your interests are so varied.
Especially when you're going against the grain and it's in our nature to want to belong to a group. So it's going to be very hard to go against the grain for that long.
Yeah, we always say how lucky we are that we surround ourselves all the time in our gym community with such like-minded people with such positive attitudes.
Yeah.
That's one thing we really noticed in lockdown last year.
Yeah.
Was, oh wow, we're not surrounded by this, massive network that supports what we do every day. That was a really big, that was a hard hit for us to take because it made up so much of our life.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you're constantly surrounded by things that don't support you, it makes it very hard for you to achieve your goal.
Which is why we work through basically the actual nutritional education aspect of our program varies in length from person to person. It depends on their starting point, it depends what they know, it depends on their skills. So we usually spend the first couple of weeks establishing exactly where that person's at, and then we work through what we need to work through together. But for me, with the last couple of clients I've had who have finished up the program, the last quarter-ish, maybe even half, is basically how to streamline their lifestyle to make sure that the healthy actions that they're carrying out every day just become easier and easier and easier.
Yeah, and they can do it without you.
Yeah, and they can do it long term. So, like, we've briefly then spoken about how you need to kind of adjust your lifestyle and how you need to make it easy for yourself to stick to the plan. From a scientific viewpoint, here's what happens when you go on a diet. So I'm going to use the calories example. Like, we don't count calories with clients, but you do need to acknowledge their importance, and they do make it a little bit easier to explain stuff.
Yeah. And
so,
we occasionally we have used calories when required.
When necessary.
Yeah.
So let's use me as an example. So I maintain my weight at approximately 2,700 calories a day ish, either side of that, 100, 200, whatever. Your maintenance position is not a set point. So it's not like if I eat 2,750, I'm going to gain weight, and if I eat 2,650, I'm going to lose weight. So your maintenance calories is a bit of a range.
Yeah.
That being said, so if I was trying to lose weight, I might drop my calories through various means. Either I count them, or I cut down a snack, or I do whatever I choose. I might drop it down to 2,200. Now, to lose fat for me, I need to be probably a little bit more aggressive than some of our clients, just because of my history of trained a lot, quite
training.
Active already. Yep. Yes. So I need to work harder.
Yep.
So if I dropped my calories to 2,500, that's going to do nothing. It's not enough. It needs to be a little bit more aggressive. And for most people who would like some faster results, aggressive is a little bit better than slower. Depends on the person. It's always individual. So after, let's say in 10 weeks, I've lost 10 kgs. Over the course of that time, you can expect that my results will have slowed down. They will have started to slowly plateau, and they may have even plateaued a little bit earlier, and I had to adjust again, either with my energy out or my energy in.
So energy out, we're meaning
activity, training, movement, that sort of stuff, and my energy in is obviously food. Mm-hmm. So I may have made an adjustment, I may not have. What's happening is that as I lose weight, my body is starting to go into a bit of a protective mechanism called metabolic adaptation. Mm-hmm. And what that means is that my metabolism is starting to adapt to my new normal. And my new normal at that time is 2,200 calories or whatever I said.
Yep.
That is because if it didn't, in a year, I'd be dead.
Yep.
I would have lost a kilo a week or whatever, and I'd be malnourished and in the ground. Mm-hmm. So basically your body's going, there's not enough food here to survive. So I need to down regulate all of my function and basically save myself.
Yep.
So this is when people, it's your energy's a little bit flat. You maybe not sleeping as well, maybe not training as well. All that sort of stuff you can kind of expect from being in a diet for a long time.
Yep.
So now if let's say I've lost 10 kgs and I'm pumped and I'm on 2,200 calories. I'm like, hell yeah, this is awesome. Now, if I go back to eating 2,700 calories, I now have 10 kgs less of weight to support in my body. That means that I don't need as much food to support that amount of weight. Mm-hmm. So
it's a good, how I try and educate people is if we were to work out calories, it is based on your current your current weight, right? So if we're working out calories for someone and they're 70 kilos and then they've gone on a diet and
now they're 63.
Now they're 63 kilos. Why on earth would they go back to consuming what they were doing?
Weight that they no longer need to support.
You're not supporting that same body. You are supporting a different body.
That's right. So over the course of time, my metabolism has been trying to slowly catch up to my new level of intake. So this is hard to measure, but let's now say that my metabolism, like I would maintain my weight now at 2,400 calories. So about 300 less than what I used to. If I go back to eating what I was, I am now in a surplus. My body will catch up eventually, but I will gain weight.
In the meantime,
in the meantime. It's another important point. You will gain weight really quickly if you eat in a surplus after a dieting phase, because your body wants to get back to its set point as quick as possible. Your weight loss, like your new physique, is not your set point.
No. So what, I'm trying to think who it was so I could reference it, but I can't. You might know. So like how long it takes. So after you've dieted.
18 months.
It's 18 months. Do you remember who it was?
Yeah, it was a client of mine, Elliot. Remember, he was a pediatrician.
I've read an article.
Oh, he's the one who told me.
Oh, okay.
And we were talking. Yeah, we were chatting about it a few years ago.
It's quite a long time. So 18 months is a very, very long time for your body to realize that is your new norm.
Yep.
All right. So how you eat in that next 18 months after you've dieted needs to be considered.
So here's the thing. Obviously, we don't want to be restrictive forever. So it's like, okay, well, how do I come out of a dieting phase without constantly, being on attention, or like I do want to sleep better. I want more energy. I want, I want to feel okay again. Not that you feel bad, but you know what I mean, where it's like, I want to feel full of energy again. You need to do it slowly. So what you might do is, okay, this is my current routine. Maybe I do a bit of a food diary to finish up so I can see exactly like where I am, and I might slowly be, okay, I'm adding an afternoon snack.
And what would that snack be, Ben?
A blue dinosaur bar.
Okay.
Bought from BD Fitness.
I love it. Or what else could it be? A piece of fruit.
Or so we love the hand portions with our clients. I might add an extra cupped hands of carbs to my dinner and lunch. Like something small. It doesn't need to be massive. Yep. It just needs to be gradual.
Yep.
And then I will monitor the results. Yep. Make sure that,
you're not gaining weight.
Well, this is where you can expect your scales to go up a little bit. So, Harry, please, we are educating the masses. I think Harry's trying to poo. We're just going to go on a quick commercial break. Oh, he's gone? Okay, he's good. So, this is where you can expect the scales to increase a little bit. And what that is, it's not fat mass. It is your carbohydrates in your muscle and the water that attaches to them if you're doing it properly. So what it then becomes more important to do is, rather than weigh yourself, I mean, not that that's ever the most important thing to do anyway, it then becomes more important to either take progress pictures or to do measurements with the measuring tape, but some form of tracking, just so that you don't let it slip a little bit, because it's really easy to do, because you'll hit the point where you're tired of it. It's like, I don't want to do it anymore. I want to have a couple of sweets, and that's great, but you do need to be diligent and not go too crazy. Yeah.
The regular monitoring is definitely beneficial. Like I've had people finish up the program and still check in with me once a week, once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It stretches out once every month.
And we are lucky with a lot of our nutrition graduates that they are clients at the gym. So we can, always just ask them how they're going, if they need any help, all this sort of stuff. But if you are doing this yourself, this hopefully this episode sheds a lot of light on what it is that you need to be doing at the end of your diet, just to make sure that you're confident in your ability to maintain it and that you understand how to maintain it. Because this is one of the things that I definitely struggled with without knowing. I was like, oh, cool, I maintain my weight, I go straight back to that. It's like, you're in a surplus, mate. Yeah. Now you're going back to gaining weight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's never the end. Does that make sense? People get to the end and just go back to their old behaviours. It's well, no, if you do lean back on those old behaviours, you'll end up back where you were.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what can I do that isn't so overwhelming that I can maintain and be happy with that? Be happy to do that day to day.
What you've just said in 15 seconds is why we don't do meal plans.
Yeah.
So we would rather teach our clients like what they need and then help them implement that until, you know, like they have a roster of meals that they enjoy, that they can cook, they know how to eat.
It's so easy, they can't fail.
It's so easy, and they fit, like, they're happy with the way it makes them feel.
Yeah.
They're happy with the way it makes them look. Like, all of this stuff blended into one increases their pardon me, motivation and likelihood that they're going to continue it.
Yeah.
Rather than just being like, all right, at 11 a.m. eat 2 boiled eggs every day. And they say, why? I'm like, because they're high protein and they'll keep you full. I don't like eggs. I don't care. You know, it's like, what's the point of a meal plan?
Yeah.
So, I mean, add to that, just logistically, it's a nightmare trying to cook more than one meal, you know, 2 meals, 3 meals. Like, who's got time for that? Anyway.
Yeah, not many of our clients do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for us and our clients, like, meal plans. So that's, yeah, hey, again,
Not very good.
can work for someone, just not for us and our clients. But I guess, like, what they do is they take...
The guesswork out. People just like being told what to do.
That's true, but they also don't, like, you... If you want to maintain it, you need to understand the why.
Yeah,
and you
why.
need that education around it. Otherwise, it's going to be really frustrating for you when you're gaining weight and you don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's when people will be like, oh, I'm eating too many carbs. It's like, oh, no, you're not. You're just eating too many calories.
Yeah.
Like, overall, you know, so...
All the wrong types of which aren't keeping you full.
Yes. Like, yes.
Like...
Great topic.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Again, another podcast.
and write these down. So, yes, that is why we spend, and we, you know, I'm sure our clients are so sick of us talking about healthy lifestyle and habits and behaviors, and less about, you know, I guess, like, intricate tactics, and more about the holistic view of, you know, and, like, we talk about super easy stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like... I'm sure to a lot of people, it seems so simple that it's like, what's the point? But if you can implement like 4 of the things we talk about in a month, just a week at a time, you'd be staggered at the results.
Yeah.
Now, you know, 12 of them, and all of a sudden you're a new person with a new lifestyle, with a new set of behaviors, with a completely new understanding of how nutrition works, and completely confident in your ability to
I was about to say
adhere.
that the understanding and the confidence to then do it and know it, and you know, like, even tell people, like, afterwards, like, after you finish, everyone's like, oh, like, you've lost weight. Oh, is that why? Because you're eating a salad. And it's like, every time you're out, oh, you're always eating a salad. It's like having that knowledge and confidence to be like, yeah, well, I am actually eating a salad because that's what I need right now.
Because I'm an adult, Karen. I'm getting my veggies in.
Because a lot of it does come down to confidence in the end. Like, when, like, I've spoken to people leaving the program and them actually understanding what they've done, why they've done it. And
Clarity.
then,
Clarity brings confidence, and then, you know, like, competence in your ability to carry out the skills. Like, it all just feeds into you being like, I've got this.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I'm doing. I know why I'm doing it. And now I'm empowered to actually carry it out long term.
Yeah. The health shaming. That's another good podcast.
Health shaming. I'm a health shamer.
But, like, they feel good and confident enough to say to someone, that this is my choice. Like,
You guys are eating a lot.
you don't drink.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that too. Anyway, so just check our run sheet. Have we covered everything?
We have covered everything.
The main point, I guess, that you should hopefully take away from this, what you may not have known that hopefully you now know, is the adaptation of the metabolism. I think that's the main one. Is just that where you are now compared to where you are after 12 weeks of a diet is completely different, and you need to treat it way differently.
Yeah, and it takes 18 months.
For that to become
after
a new
that,
set point.
For that to be your new set point. So everything needs to be considered for quite a long or an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Definitely don't do a diet, lose weight, and then go back to doing what you were doing and think that you'll be able to maintain any type of loss there.
Yeah.
Because you will gain it all back.
Yep. enjoy the process of changing your lifestyle and then get comfortable in the new lifestyle, and it becomes easy.
Yeah.
You won't miss the old stuff. Like,
No,
you'll appreciate it. You'll be like,
yeah.
like, I still eat M&Ms.
Yeah.
But
occasionally, very rare.
yeah, but I enjoy it when I do it.
Yeah.
And they're my favourite, and I get them for Christmas and Father's Day every year. From little Mia and Willis. And now Harry, even though he hasn't gotten me anything. He sucks.
It hasn't been Father's Day yet.
Well, look out, it's coming big. New guitar from Harry.
Oh, stop it.
Anyways, guys, if you listen to this and you're confused about anything, like, please message us. We could talk this stuff all day.
Yeah.
We do quite enjoy it. It's never a pain. And if we could say something that could make a bit of a difference to you on the journey, then that would just be absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Message us if you've got any questions.
Sounds good. Bye.